Right now on WSAV First News at 4, freezing temperatures impacting our region over the weekend, how local agencies are getting ready.
And students at Georgia Southern joining nationwide protests against immigration enforcement. We got the details ahead.
Plus, a Hampton County Public Defender's Office has finally been paid for their services, who they are thanking for the outcome.
It's 4 o'clock on WSAV, on your side. Now, WSAV First News at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Tina Tyus-Shaw.
And I'm Andrew Davis, joining you from our bureau at the Technical College of the Low Country's Bluffton campus. We'll begin with counties across the coastal empire and low country under that extreme cold warning ahead of some seriously cold weather this weekend.
Georgia Governor Brian Kemp issuing a state of emergency. Right now, we want to check in with Storm Team 3 Chief Meteorologist Scott Roberts as he continues to watch our wintry weather development. Scott.
Yeah, we are going to be dealing with the wintry weather first. That's our first big weather story. The second big story is the second half of the weekend with the extreme cold. But first, we do have to deal with winter storm warnings in place along and north of Interstate 16, the areas that we were talking about yesterday that have the best chance of having accumulating snowfall. It's looking more likely now. That's why the Weather Service has now followed suit and issued that winter storm warning. South of Interstate 16, including Chatham County, there is the possibility of some accumulating snow. You do have a winter weather advisory. Both of those start during the morning hours on Saturday and continue into the very early morning hours of our Sunday. So as far as our snow accumulation expected in our area to the north, 2 to 4 inches, not out of the question. 1 to 2 inches in that area that's along Interstate 16. Further to the south, we could still have some flurries to a coating, but still the same pattern will be setting up that we were talking about, where snow further to the south is less likely with this system. So as we look ahead into the next 24 to 48 hours, this area of low pressure is definitely going to be forming off of the coast of the U.S., and that will help to bring in that colder air and bring in that moisture. So that wintry weather is going to be setting up for us throughout the day on Saturday. So it will begin as some rain showers in the first part of the day, then switching to snow by the early afternoon hours. So that would be continuing into the evening hours, and it's not out of the question to have 1 to 4 inches of snowfall in those areas far to the north. So we have increased our weekend frosty factor to a 5. Bread and milk and travel issues, that's a little bit lighthearted, but you might not want to leave the house, not only because of the snow on Saturday, but because of the extreme cold setting up for us for the second half of the weekend. 18 is the forecast low temperature, but when you factor in the strong wind, it will be feeling like the single digits. We'll talk more about what we can expect hour by hour coming up in just a few moments.
Scott, thanks so much. We go over to Bullock County now, where county officials are bracing and preparing for the effects of that winter weather this weekend. Bullock County Emergency Management Agency gearing up for possible snowfall and its effect on traveling conditions. EMA Director Corey Kemp tells WSAV the Georgia Department of Transportation handling a lot of the road prep with the county on standby to potentially sand the county's 38 bridges. That's depending on the forecast as it continues on. Kemp adds that extra personnel will be on duty this week, but asks residents to stay home if possible.
We do have extra services on this weekend, fire, EMS. There will be deputies riding around, but also be mindful if you could stay home. We would rather not be out, but we will handle all emergencies as they come.
And for those who need it, the county will open a warming shelter this evening at 8 o'clock. That's at Trinity Episcopal Church, located at 4401 Country Club Road in Statesboro. And power crews in the Low Country are preparing for impacts from winter storm ahead. WC's Danielle Cobb has much more about them.
Local power companies are working to get ahead for this weekend. They tell me they're getting their linemen prepped, their truck tanks filled, and their phone lines ready to go in the event of potential outages. Dominion Energy and Palmetto Electric, who serve our areas in the Low Countries, say they don't think this winter storm will see impacts the same as last year, but they're preparing just in case. Both companies say snow is the lesser worry, but possible wind gusts mixed with the snow and extremely low temperatures can create the risk of bad road conditions. Cars crashing into power poles or transformers during weather events is one of their leading causes for outages. They say they know it's inconvenient, especially during really cold temperatures, to lose power, but they ask locals to remain patient in the event that power needs to be restored.
The same conditions that make it tough for everybody to drive around the roads. Our linemen are experiencing those same road conditions.
Sometimes access can be limited based on those road conditions. So we want to encourage our customers to remain patient with us. Just because they don't see a truck on the road or in their neighborhood doesn't mean that we're not working to restore power should an outage occur.
We will have Dominion and Palmetto Electric's phone numbers and resources listed on our website. The companies ask that you use those to make any reports. You can find those links at wsav.com/lowcountrypower. Danielle Cobb, WSAV News 3, on your side.
Some people in Savannah and around the country protesting against ICE and President Trump's immigration policies. Georgia Southern University students taking a stand today against what they call an attack by the current administration on basic human rights. They say even small-scale demonstrations can lead to change and hopefully avoid more deadly encounters like the one that happened between ICE agents and protester Alex Preddy in Minnesota last week.
I was raised with the idea that everyone is equal, that everyone is human, and just seeing everything that has been happening today in the world, it's wrong. Like, this is the exact opposite of equality. This is the exact opposite of everything that my parents taught me.
We see our role as students in building the future, and that is a future for everyone, not a future for a select group of people or people who came here the right way.
Now, another protest is scheduled for tomorrow at noon at Forsyth Park here in Savannah. Organizers say it is a go, rain, snow, or shine.
The fire chief of Glenville out of a job after being arrested and charged in a child molestation investigation. As we first told you yesterday, Glenville City Council announced confirmed to WSAV that former fire chief Dale Barnard has been terminated. This comes as the Georgia Bureau of Investigation looking into Barnard for alleged child sex crimes after Glenville police responded to a 911 call from a minor who reported that Barnard entered his home and molested him. Barnard was booked into the Tattnall County Jail, and the investigation is still active. And this man, Edward King, has been formally charged with malice murder and aggravated assault for a deadly shooting in October. King was arrested for that shooting and killing of Rufus Smalls near the intersection of West 34th and Ogeechee Road. He's expected back in court in March for an arraignment.
A grand jury indicting this man, Jeremy Scarth, for shooting and killing a veteran outside of Lucky's Pub, that is off of Highway 204 and I-95. And it happened in November. D'Angelo Shaw was working security at the pub before he was shot and killed. Scarth's charges include malice murder and aggravated assault. A bond hearing is set for Monday, February 2nd. The fight over a proposed nickel plant in Richmond Hill has now escalated to legal threats, and we've been telling you how West Wind Elements, an Oklahoma-based company, is looking to build a new refinery in Bryan County. It's now sent a cease and desist letter to County Commission Chair Carter Enfinger, claiming he made false statements following a recent meeting and demanding a public apology. The county attorney responding, saying it is simply factually true that West Wind is facing federal lawsuits, as Carter claimed, and that the company is misrepresenting other statements. For example, the attorney says Carter mentioned a death at a facility and that used similar technology as the proposed refinery, but denies Carter ever claimed it was a facility operated by West Wind. Well, county officials say there are still no pending applications for the project at this time. We will, of course, continue to follow this story and bring you updates as we learn more.
It took 3 years and 3 days, but finally, after an impassioned plea and some threats, the 14th Circuit Public Defender's Office got the money it was owed from Hampton County. I got a chance to sit down with the public defender herself, and Stephanie Smart-Gilling says much of the credit goes to someone other than herself.
I didn't do that. I didn't do that. Like, my mother would not be happy with my behavior right now. But, yeah, I mean, I meant it.
Stephanie Smart-Gillings is talking about her strong words to Hampton County Council on Monday. Those ended up being shared across the entire area.
The Hampton County pays me the $178,000 that they owe me from the last 3 fiscal years, or I'll just sue Hampton County.
The 14th Circuit Public Defender says the office hadn't gotten a check from Hampton since 2023. While they still did get paid from 4 other counties in the circuit, the lack of funds from Hampton County put her team in a bind. Lawyers working dozens of cases at a time, raises nearly impossible. She was even facing a decision to cut evidence.com, which could have hampered attorneys from getting the evidence needed to defend their clients.
What impressed me the most and touched my heart and almost made me cry was the response that we had from the citizens of Hampton County who cared that we weren't getting paid.
2 days after the county citizens stepped up to voice their opinions, the office had a check in hand. Gillings says this fight wasn't just about money, but it's about the people they serve. People who need someone to listen to them, to help them.
They're the people who could lose their jobs because they were charged with the crimes. And that's on the assumption that everybody charged is guilty. And that's erroneous because they're not.
The lawyers will continue working, serving their clients, the people of Hampton, and the entire district.
What would you say to the citizens of Hampton County?
My heart is eternally grateful. Thank you.
Gillings says simply enough, this is a great step forward. Now the next goal is to make sure all the bills are paid on time from all the counties, including Hampton in the near future, something with the government itself said it would be planning to do on time from here on out.
WSAV Time Saver Traffic is brought to you by Arrowhead Clinic, the accident doctors, where it pays to get well.
So we are looking at pretty good conditions. I-16 westbound heading into Pooler and the interchange of Pooler Parkway, starting to get some backups here, but no big deal. Some hit or miss showers in the area, but otherwise no big concerns weather-wise for the rest of today. No big issues either. Highway 21 moving fine. I-95 in the Coastal Empire is good as well. I-95 in the Low Country, on the other hand, does have some congestion in the southbound lanes. This is generally in the Hardeeville area, a bit of congestion around the exits. Look at mile marker 5. Camera froze up on me there, but you can see the congestion just beyond the exit itself. If you are heading between Port Wentworth and Rincon, it's taking about 20 minutes each direction on Georgia 21. Tina?
As the wintry weather gets closer, several warming shelters preparing to open their doors for those in need. We'll tell you about that. You're watching WSAV First News at 4.